Okay, so imagine this. You're going through like a really, really messy breakup,
Oh,
dealing with legal battles, and then suddenly you're being accused of like horrifying crimes that you didn't commit.
wow.
That's the reality that Michelle Hadley faced in this case.
Oh, wild.
It's really a twisted tale of deceit.
Uh,
So we're diving into that today. We're going to analyze this case where jealousy and manipulation and this hunger for fame drove a wedge between a couple
right.
and ensnared an innocent woman in this like web of lies.
And it's so fascinating because, they kind of weaponize people's natural inclination to trust and empathize, especially with like victims.
Exactly. And to unpack all of this, we're going to dissect an episode of the Sir Leslie podcast,
Okay,
hosted by Annie Elise.
cool.
This case takes us back to 2016 in Anaheim, California.
Okay.
So Michelle Hadley and her ex-boyfriend, Ian Diaz, they had just ended their relationship and were entangled in this legal dispute over a condo.
Oh,
And here's the thing. Michelle had actually paid for the entire down payment, but both of their names were on the deed.
oh, so that's where the problem is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this condo dispute becomes like a breeding ground for resentment.
Right.
Right. It sets the stage for everything that unfolds.
Yeah, it's like this tangible symbol of their broken relationship
Mm-hmm.
and a potential source of financial gain.
Yeah, for whoever wins.
Yeah.
And as tensions rise, Angela, Ian's new wife, starts receiving these disturbing emails,
Oh.
seemingly from Michelle.
Okay.
They're filled with threats and this unsettling religious undertones
Mhm.
and even like graphic images.
Wow.
They paint this picture of Michelle as unstable and dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, using religious language is really cunning.
Yes.
Because it really plays on societal fears and it just makes the threat seem even more menacing and convincing.
Right, because it adds this like layer of creepiness.
Exactly.
So one email chillingly reads, "I hope you are scared of death tomorrow. Be prepared. Don't sleep. Be watchful of the daughters of God. We will steal your child, and we will watch as it dies."
Oh my gosh.
He is using you for everything. Don't you see this? He is obsessed with me. I am his treasure princess. You are nothing. Watch your back tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. If I got an email like that, I would be terrified.
I know, right? And to make matters worse, the sender attached these horrifying photos to the emails.
Oh God.
Images depicting violence and death.
Oh wow. So they're really escalating the threats.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's very deliberate,
Yeah.
designed to create this sense of urgency and fear,
Definitely.
pushing Angela to take action.
Yeah, it's manipulation.
Totally.
At its finest.
But Michelle vehemently denies sending these emails.
Okay.
She claims her email was hacked,
Uh-huh.
and she even presents Google login alerts from an unfamiliar location as evidence.
So it's like a classic he said, she said.
Yes.
How do you prove that you didn't do something?
Exactly, and it seems like the evidence is stacked against her.
Yeah.
And as if the email threats weren't enough, things get even worse
Oh, no.
when these horrifying Craigslist ads start to surface.
Oh, no, what happened?
These ads are seemingly posted by Angela,
Okay.
and they solicit men to come to her house and fulfill this rape fantasy.
Oh, my gosh. That is so disturbing.
Right.
She's putting herself in harm's way.
Yes, and that's where it gets dangerous.
Yeah. To make her claims more believable.
Exactly. And men actually respond to these ads.
Oh, wow.
They send messages directly to Angela's inbox.
Oh, my goodness.
It's really terrifying.
Yeah, it's like that line between fabrication and reality is totally blurred. That's scary.
Despite Michelle's claims of innocence, she is arrested for both the threats and the Craigslist posts.
Wow.
So the charges against her are serious.
Yeah.
We've got stalking, criminal threats, attempted rape, assault with intent to commit rape.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and they carry a potential life sentence.
Oh, my goodness.
So facing this immense public scrutiny and the weight of these charges, Michelle's family decides to prioritize securing a competent lawyer
Okay.
over immediately posting bail.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get someone good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shows how serious this is.
Definitely.
Now, remember how Angela was pregnant with twins?
Yes, I do.
Well, this is where the case takes a shocking twist.
Oh, really?
It throws everything we thought we knew into question.
I'm intrigued.
So Ian, seemingly out of the blue, drops a bombshell on the police.
Okay.
His wife, Angela, has been framing Michelle the entire time.
What? That's right. Oh my gosh. So it completely shifts our focus now
Yes.
from Michelle's guilt to Angela's actions.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the layers of Angela's deceit just keep peeling back.
Okay.
Remember that sonogram picture she proudly showed Ian?
Yeah.
fabricated, bought on Etsy.
What? No way.
And remember her claims of battling cancer and enduring grueling chemotherapy?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
All a lie.
Oh, my goodness.
And this wasn't Angela's first time feigning a serious illness.
Oh, really?
Before meeting Ian, she was with Jason, a state highway patrol officer.
Okay.
During their time together, she claimed to have cervical cancer
Wow.
and even shaved her head for the supposed side effects of chemo.
Oh, my gosh. So she was really committed to this.
Yes, very dedicated to the performance.
Yeah.
She would send Jason pictures that appeared to show her undergoing chemotherapy,
Mm-hmm.
with the IV bags and medical equipment.
Wow.
And she even refused to let Jason drive her to appointments.
Really?
She said she needed alone time to process everything.
Oh, wow.
But Angela's friend Mary started noticing inconsistencies in her behavior.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, for one, she didn't seem to be experiencing any side effects of chemo.
Right.
And her hair was growing back way too fast.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Jason, growing suspicious, asked a friend to watch Angela's house on a day she supposedly had a chemo appointment.
Okay.
Guess what?
What?
She never left.
Oh, my God.
Jason was determined to uncover the truth, so he did some digging and discovered that those photos she'd been sending
Yeah.
were stolen from the internet.
Wow, that is just unbelievable.
When he confronted her with the evidence,
No.
she doubled down, insisting she actually had cancer, and even offered to let Jason and Mary call her mom to confirm.
Wow, so she's still sticking to her story,
Oh, yeah.
even when confronted.
But when Mary asked to see her chemo port,
Oh, right.
she refused.
That's suspicious.
Very suspicious.
Yeah. It's just crazy how committed she was to this whole act.
Yeah, like she was really playing the role of the cancer patient.
Totally.
Okay, so back to the present day. The police, armed with Ian's revelations about Angela's fake pregnancy and history of lies, uncover even more layers of deception.
Oh.
Remember those threatening emails sent to Angela? Well, it turns out she was sending them to herself the entire time.
What? No way.
She was using a VPN to mask her IP address.
Oh, wow.
To make it look like they were coming from Michelle.
That's actually really smart.
Right. It's disturbing,
Yeah.
but also impressive.
Yeah. It takes a lot of planning
Definitely.
and effort to pull that off.
And just when you think it couldn't get any more twisted, remember those Craigslist ads soliciting men to attack Angela? The police found out that Angela was using Ian's email address to post them.
Wow. So she was really the mastermind behind it all.
Uh-huh. She was setting herself up to be the victim.
It's scary how she manipulated everyone around her.
Totally.
Yeah.
So the question is, why go to such extreme lengths? What was her motive?
Right.
Well, beyond the obvious desire to get Michelle out of the picture and get the condo,
Yeah.
the police found something else on Angela's computer that hinted at another motive.
Oh, what is it?
Fame.
Wait, are you serious? She was doing all of this for attention.
That's right. 2 Word documents titled The Angela Diaz Story and Daughters of God, The Angela Diaz Story, were found on her computer.
What? So she wanted to turn her fabricated ordeal into a movie.
It seems like it.
That's just unbelievable.
I know, right?
She was willing to destroy Michelle's life for fame.
It really seems that way.
It's so messed up.
It's crazy how far some people will go.
Right. It's like the dark side of human nature.
But hold on, remember, Ian. Angela's supportive husband who exposed her lies.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, turns out his involvement goes much deeper than he initially let on.
Oh, really? How so?
Remember Michelle's claims about her email being hacked?
Yeah.
Well, it's partially true. But the hacker wasn't some random stranger. It was Ian.
What? So he was in on it too?
He created fake email accounts in Michelle's name and used them to send those threatening messages to Angela.
Oh my gosh, he was actively participating in this whole scheme.
Yes. And it gets even crazier. They even created an email account where Ian was pretending to be Michelle, pretending to be him.
Wow, they were really committed to this.
It's a tangled web of deception and manipulation.
Curiously, it's like something out of a movie.
And get this, Ian was also behind those Craigslist posts, soliciting men to attack Angela.
Are you kidding me? So this whole thing was a collaborative effort.
Yep, a partnership in deception.
So the question is, was he manipulated by Angela or was he a willing participant?
That's a good question. Their dynamic was definitely complex and unhealthy.
Yeah, for sure.
So in 2023, Ian was sentenced to over 10 years for his role in the plot.
Wow, that's a long time.
Charges included cyberstalking, conspiracy to commit cyberstalking, perjury, and obstruction of justice.
Yeah, those are some serious charges.
Angela, on the other hand, received a 5-year sentence.
Wow. So he got way more time than her.
Yeah, it seems like the court recognized that he played a more active role in the deception.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But why would he participate in such a scheme? Especially one that could have put his own wife in danger.
Right, like what was his motivation?
Well, the answer might lie in his relationship with Michelle before their breakup.
Oh, okay. So there's more to the story.
Michelle described Ian as controlling, possessive, and manipulative.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good.
He would pressure her to dress in a way that he liked,
Oh, wow.
even pushing her to get a piercing that she didn't want.
That's not cool.
He also seemed to be tracking her movements,
Really?
sending her messages, questioning her whereabouts, even when she was only a few minutes late.
Oh, wow. That's a bit much.
And his controlling behavior went beyond clothing and whereabouts. He had this disturbing fetish that involved Michelle having sex with strangers while he watched.
That's awful.
I know. And Michelle told him repeatedly that she wasn't comfortable with it, but he continued to pressure her.
Oh, gosh. That's just so wrong.
He just ignored her pleas.
Wow.
Then, on Valentine's Day in 2014, Michelle came down with a light cold and was taking medication that made her feel foggy and disoriented.
Okay.
And guess what Ian did?
What?
He asked her to have sex with a stranger while he watched.
Oh, no. He took advantage of her when she was vulnerable.
Exactly. And feeling worn down and unable to think clearly because of the medication, she agreed.
Oh, my gosh. That is so disturbing.
He immediately posted an ad on Craigslist and found someone to fulfill his fantasy. He even gave Michelle 3 shots of whiskey,
Oh, wow.
further impairing her judgment.
That's terrible.
He then set up cameras in the bedroom to record the entire encounter.
Oh, my God. That's so messed up.
Afterwards, Michelle felt sick and violated. She told Ian she felt like she'd been sexually assaulted.
I can't believe he did that to her.
But instead of apologizing, he got angry.
Really?
He berated her for expressing her feelings.
Wow, he's such a jerk.
This incident, along with his ongoing controlling and manipulative behavior, ultimately led to the end of their relationship.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
After the breakup, Ian sent Michelle an email asking her to meet him at the condo.
Okay.
But Michelle, sensing danger, refused to go.
Good for her.
She quit her job, dropped out of college, and moved back in with her parents.
Wow, so she was really scared of him.
She was desperate to get away from him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But even her attempts to distance herself weren't enough to escape his web of manipulation.
That's so scary. It's like he couldn't let her go.
And that brings us back to the twist and scheme orchestrated by Ian and Angela.
Right.
Now that we understand the disturbing dynamics of their relationship,
Yeah.
it becomes clearer why he might have participated in this elaborate plot to frame her and get her out of their lives.
Yeah, he clearly had some issues.
The events that unfolded left Michelle deeply traumatized. She spent nearly 3 months in jail for crimes she didn't commit,
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
all while enduring public scrutiny and condemnation.
It's just so unfair.
In her victim impact statement, Michelle described the profound impact that Ian's actions had on her mental and emotional well-being.
Okay.
She talked about experiencing PTSD, dissociative episodes, and the constant fear that he was trying to ruin her life.
That's heartbreaking.
In 2018, Michelle filed a lawsuit against the city of Anaheim and several police officers alleging they failed to properly investigate the case and wrongfully imprisoned her.
Wow, so she's fighting back.
The lawsuit was settled out of court in 2021 with both parties agreeing to keep the details of the settlement confidential.
Oh, okay.
The Anaheim Police Department, while not admitting wrongdoing, released a statement claiming their actions were appropriate based on the evidence that was known to us at the time.
Oh, wow. So they're basically saying they did nothing wrong.
And they even tried to take credit for uncovering the truth that led to Michelle's exoneration.
But it wasn't them. It was Ian's confession.
Exactly.
Wow, that's messed up.
This entire case is a tangled web of lies, manipulation, and betrayals. It makes you really question who you can trust.
Definitely, it shows how easily people can deceive us.
And it highlights the importance of listening to our gut instincts. If something feels off, it probably is.
You're absolutely right. We shouldn't ignore those red flags.
But there's one final unsettling thought to leave you with.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
What if Michelle's instincts about Ian's intentions were right all along?
Oh, wow. What do you mean?
What if that email asking her to meet him at the condo wasn't just a harmless request?
Oh my God. You're saying that he might have had something else planned?
Exactly. We've seen his pattern of controlling and manipulative behavior, his disregard for her consent, and his escalation of aggression.
Wow. Yeah, that's a scary thought.
It's impossible to know for sure, but it's a possibility worth considering.
It definitely adds another layer of darkness to this already disturbing case.
And it really underscores the importance of trusting our instincts when it comes to our safety.
For sure, we should never ignore those red flags, especially in situations where our safety might be at risk.
Michelle's story is a powerful reminder to be vigilant, to trust our intuition, and to advocate for ourselves, even when facing seemingly impossible challenges.
It's a message of resilience and hope. This whole thing really makes you think,
About who you can trust.
yeah, and how quick we are to believe a story.
Especially when it's like tugging at our heartstrings.
Yeah, totally. It's like that manipulation can be so subtle, and even people we think we know well
Right.
could have ulterior motives.
It's a reminder to be skeptical, I think.
Definitely. Especially with all the misinformation online these days.
Yeah, you can't just accept everything as fact.
For sure, you got to think critically.
Question your assumptions.
Yeah.
Get different perspectives.
Exactly, and especially with accusations,
Right.
We saw how quickly the police, in this case, jumped to conclusions.
They didn't really investigate properly.
No, they just accepted what Angela and Ian were saying.
Which is scary, because everyone deserves a fair investigation.
Right. Regardless of how it looks at first.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly, and that's so important, So we don't have wrongful convictions.
And I think this case shows how the power dynamics in relationships
Yes.
can really affect how people are perceived.
Absolutely. Ian was controlling and manipulative.
Right.
And that made it easy to see Michelle as
The crazy ex-girlfriend.
yeah, and Angela played the victim so well.
With all the fake illnesses and the attacks.
It all just made Michelle look bad.
It's a reminder that abuse can be really subtle.
For sure. And hard to recognize.
So what can we learn from all this?
Well, for me, it's all about trusting your gut.
Like if something feels wrong,
Yeah, don't ignore it.
those red flags are there for a reason.
Exactly.
No.
And also be careful about what information you're consuming.
Right.
Double check things.
Do your research.
Critically.
And in relationships, set those healthy boundaries.
Definitely. And make sure there's respect and trust.
Communication is key too.
Absolutely. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around someone.
And Michelle's story is really inspiring.
Yeah, she went through so much.
But she never gave up fighting for the truth.
She's a true survivor.
It reminds us that even when things seem impossible,
Yeah.
there's always hope for justice.
It's a powerful reminder.
This deep dive has been pretty dark,
Definitely.
but it's also been a reminder of the importance of truth and resilience,
It really makes you think about how easily we can be manipulated.
and how important it is to be critical of the information we're given.
For sure.
So we hope this case has made you think a bit differently,
Yeah, about how you approach information
and the people in your life.
and your own role in creating your story.
Well, that's it for this deep dive.
Another case closed.
We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic.
Can't wait.
Until then, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep seeking the truth.
That's the motto.